Hey everyone, welcome back to Dev Parkour. I have a confession to make. I'm a multipotentialite. What does that mean? A multipotentialite, sometimes called a multipod or a polymath, is someone who has a lot of different interests. And not just a couple, but several. People like Galileo, Thomas Jefferson, and Isaac Newton were polymaths. While we might know them for one or two significant accomplishments, they engage deeply in many disciplines throughout their lives. So while most people tend to find one thing they're passionate about or good at and follow that path for the rest of their lives, multipotentialites have a lot of different interests, which sometimes compete for time with other things they also see as important, or those around them see as important, or society sees as important. Now, to be clear, being a multipotentialite is different from having ADD or ADHD. It seems like there are many people who have ADD or ADHD and are also multipotentialites, but being one doesn't automatically mean you're the other. I am very definitely not ADHD, but I very definitely am a multipotentialite. Now, it's not uncommon for multipotentialites to struggle to find or hold jobs for long periods of time, sometimes for absolutely no good reason. They just get bored. In my case, the longest I've been in a job is 3 years. The shortest was 9 months. Some of the times I changed jobs was for good reason, like the company was going under, but many of the job changes were just because I was bored. Even the job I was at for 3 years, I moved around between a few teams, and by the end, I was doing a job essentially of my own creation. I actually feel like I'm more than just a multipotentialite. I'm a multipotentialite entrepreneur, which means I have a lot of different interests that I want to find a way to make money at. Unfortunately, before I realized I was a multipotentialite, this meant that I sabotaged every startup idea I had. In hindsight, many of these situations were right before they would have been successful, or with one small tweak, they would have been stellar opportunities. It's also why I don't have the patience for certifications. I mentioned that on the channel, and I think they're a racket. They're a way of indicating that you're qualified to practice a specific discipline, while at the same time forcing you into a box. That's fine if that's the box you want to fit in, but if you want to jump from box to box like I do, a certification is just a ton of time consumed for very little gain. So what does this all have to do with this channel? Well, right now I'm at just over 900 subscribers. Thank you, by the way. It's taken me about 3 years to get here. Well, some channels can get 900 subscribers in less than a month. I don't know how they do it. It's been a long time trying to find an identity for the channel that would resonate with you all, and also that fits with my interests. Honestly, the hardest part of doing a YouTube channel is finding topics that interested me enough to prepare them, and then finding time to record an interesting video. Hence why I'm recording this in a car. In fact, someone commented on a video a few months ago that they found it weird that I was plugging my startup and also listed a Patreon link. To their credit, I understand why it seems weird to ask subscribers to support the channel in multiple different ways, but at the same time, it makes perfect sense to me as a multipotentialite. I have different interests, and I suppose I assume that you all do too. If you find what I do interesting and want to support the channel directly, there's Patreon. If you have a need for any of the services I have affiliate links for, do that. If Valence, my startup, solves a problem that you have, sign up. If you fit into more than one of those categories and multiple methods of support fits your budget, I won't stop you. I don't currently do YouTube full-time though, and I don't know that I ever will, so any support goes directly into making content for the channel. Of course, my multipotentialite nature has prevented me from making content for the channel consistently for the last several months. I've just had a lot going on, mostly of my own making. So I understand if it's kind of hard to justify supporting a channel that doesn't have consistent content. Which leads me to a sneak preview of what's to come on this channel. I'm just going to share what's on my mind each week and what I've been up to. Basically sharing each week in the life of a multipotentialite entrepreneur with a software engineering background, which may just end up being a winding case study in how to apply various tools to even more varied situations. In a way, I actually think this is really a valuable topic as we enter summer 2023. The economy is in flux, the software industry has been anything but stable, yet people are learning code in various forms at a rate we haven't seen before. It's no longer interesting to build software just for software's sake, and people who have ideas are less interested than ever in finding someone who knows software engineering just to bring a product to market, or test if there is a market. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to commit myself to any particular software stack. This isn't the channel you go to if you want to learn C# or Rust or JavaScript, even though I'll probably still use those languages as I build MVPs or experiments to test the things that I try out in each week's video. What I will commit myself to is spending some time each week sharing something interesting from my life as I ponder the world's problems and startup opportunities. If the thing I'm thinking about lends itself to a particular tool or implementation, I'll go into that in as much detail as makes sense for the audience, but always sharing why I'm solving a problem the way I am, or why I'm choosing a particular tool. If that means building a Wix or Weebly site, I'll do it. If that means building a Shopify storefront, I'll do it. As much as possible, I'll try to make whatever I build available to use and interact with, and ideally have it be a real business that you can buy things from. I can't make any promises, since most of these things will cost money to run. Even if they have a free trial, they might run out, and then I'd need to pay for them. So if it's something that you like, please use it and make it worthwhile to keep going. I'll definitely draw from ideas that I have in the coming weeks, but I might also dust off some older projects that I've worked on in the past, talk about why I started them, why I shelved them, and so on. I'll also be updating my personal website here shortly to reflect the new character of the YouTube channel. If you're also a multipotentialite, I'll leave a link to a quiz that will tell you in the video description if you're a multipotentialite. So if you are and you're struggling with some of the same things I've been struggling with, I'd love to help. Go visit my website, brianparks.me, and fill out the contact form, and let's find some time to chat. Now, I don't want to make this video just a here's what I'm doing here on the channel, and then leave you all on a cliffhanger until next week. So let's take a look through some of the business ideas I've had over the last couple weeks that I haven't had a chance to properly vet yet. Again, I've just been busy. Some of these might make an appearance in future videos. So I've started using the iOS Reminders app, and right now I have this one reminder that initially had 2 business ideas in it and now has 4. So eventually I'll put some more thought into each of them, but here they are. So the first one is something that automatically calls me when a Zoom meeting is starting and I'm on my phone. So at various times in the last few weeks, I've had to drive somewhere and not had it line up quite exactly with when I had a scheduled meeting. So I'd be in the car right when the meeting was about to start, and it would be really nice if my phone just called me from the Zoom meeting so that I could accept, I'd be on video, it would connect to audio, and I'd be in the meeting just automatically. Not exactly sure how I'd build that or if it's even viable, but it's an idea that I had. The second one is a marketplace and sandbox of APIs, right? How many times are you building a project and you just want an API to access some bunch of data that you feel like someone has used before, like zip codes? There is a public API to deal with zip codes, but how do you find it? You do a Google search and then you have to integrate with it and that sort of thing. Wouldn't it be nice if there were just a catalog of all of these APIs that maybe are public, maybe are private, and you need to sign up for a service to get to them, whatever. And then a playground to be able to ping the APIs, get some information back, maybe combine it with information from another API that you have access to, and just get valuable data back. I don't know. That might be kind of cool to play around with. Next one is a marketplace for indie photographers to sell prints and framed canvases. So one of my previous startups was something called Shutterpilot. I'll leave a link down below. It's still around, but I'm not really doing much with it. It was a photo booth company. So at a photo booth, digital photo booth, you would take a picture, you would send it to yourself, and then from there you could like share it to Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if you could also like create a print or send it to a friend or something like that, right? There are services out there, you know, Shutterfly is one. There was another one I used called Snapfish. But what if our friends, I have friends who are photographers and artists, What if they wanted to create a marketplace for their photography and art as well, and allow people to go through one of those services, Shutterfly, Snapfish, something like that, and basically order a print of the art? That might be kind of cool. Maybe as a way to kind of power their, their portfolio website or something like that. Then the next one is kind of a meal kit type thing. Local food, healthy meals, things you like, same 2 steps to cook. How many of you just run out of time to cook but really want to cook something healthy, right? There are meal kit services like Green Chef and Blue Apron and I forget what, you've heard of them, right? And everyone has their complaints about it. Sometimes the recipes can be kind of difficult to create, from scratch. There's just a lot of steps. So what if there were something that you could pull out of the freezer or pick up at the local supermarket or something like that, and it always had the same 2 steps to cook, maybe 3 steps, not sure. Again, I haven't vetted these ideas yet. But no matter what you bought, it would always be the same 2 steps. It would be cook something and then dump something on top of it. I know that doesn't sound terribly appetizing, but how many recipes realistically boil down to that, right? If you don't have to do all of the prep work, you could basically just cook it, serve it up, dump something on top of it, and there you go. You have a hot meal with not a lot of effort. So I don't know. That's another idea I've had that I'm tossing around. Well, that about does it for this video. Please comment below if you have thoughts about the new format. I hope to see you in future videos, and if you're not already subscribed, please do so. I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers, and once I hit that milestone, I should be able to do even more with the channel. So I definitely appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.